What's going on, everyone? My name's Tenebris Infinite, and today we're going to be talking about a general smorgasbord of news for Generation Zero, covering a whole bunch of things from what's new with Avalanche Studios to what's going to be going on with the Plunder and storage updates, as well as just some general stuff around the Xbox and Windows 10 launch of Generation Zero. So, let's jump right into things here. First off, let's talk about the Windows 10 launch of Generation Zero, and one of the things really quickly here, I guess it's just irking me because I'm a fan or whatever, but when you look up Generation Zero in the friggin' Windows Store, it's not even on the list until like way down here. What the heck, man? At least World War Z has a Z in it, but like none of these other, like what the fuck? Anyway, I digress. Getting on to the Generation Zero Xbox and Windows 10 version, the kind of Game Pass version here, we are currently looking at a pretty gnarly review score. 1.5 stars. Ooh, dude, it hurts. It hurts. But sadly, the Xbox update for the Resistance update, as well as the launch on Windows 10, has been met with some slightly adverse bugs. Now, luckily enough, it seems that the team was able to jump on this pretty much immediately and flip the necessary switch in order to get things working for the online connectivity of PC Game Pass, as well as the infinite loading screen on New Game or Continue. But if you are still facing this issue, there are a couple workarounds put into the forums, so I will have a link to that in the description down below. Personally, I don't think that Generation Zero deserves 1.5 stars on the Windows Store, and this is something that kind of sucks for Generation Zero along the way. A lot of these reviews get made when Generation Zero's in a buggy state, but don't go back to them and don't go back to their review when Generation Zero is not in a buggy state. So if you are a Windows player and you maybe haven't left a review, it would be nice to maybe see that score get bumped up just a little bit and be a little bit better representative of what the game is actually worth as a score. And I would say it's 3.5 to 4 stars as a low, and then 5 stars as a high. Also, I'm doing my commentary and post here. I'm not too sure what was going on with the experimental ammo in my filming, but it was causing a lot of lag, dude. Anyway, next up, let's talk about the Plunder and storage update, because this is something that we are all hotly anticipating. And I hate to be the bearer of kind of bad news, but we won't be seeing it within this year. That update is going to be shelved and worked on for next year, hopefully soon within next year. But I think it's good that we're getting this heads up here now in the first place, and kudos to the community member over on Facebook that asked the question. You know, it's one of those updates that we really need, but on the other hand, I think it would be good for us to get some sort of a sortable inventory at the same time, which could potentially slow down that Plunder and storage update from coming to us sooner. The other thing as well is that it says with the next update next year, so that potentially means that we won't be seeing any sort of an update throughout December. We don't have solid confirmation on that, and sadly I missed the developer stream this week, but I'm going to be asking about that next week to see if there will potentially be some sort of an update in the span of December that we could look forward to. But if not, that's okay. I think it's better for us to just kind of end this year and get into next year and start 2022 as strong as possible in the world of Generation Zero. Now, the last thing that we're going to talk about today is Avalanche Studios opening up a brand new studio off in Liverpool in England. This is actually really big, my dudes. Last time that Avalanche Studios opened up a brand new studio, it wound up being a part of Systemic Reaction. Systemic Reaction are the self-published side of Avalanche Studios, and they're the ones that have brought us both Generation Zero and Second Extinction. So there is a pretty high-ish chance, I don't know, dude, there's a pretty high chance, I'd say, that this could potentially be a new studio for Systemic Reaction to open up another brand new IP for Avalanche Studios. Now, it's not for sure that this will actually be a part of Systemic. There's a number of other projects that Avalanche Studios has currently that could definitely show up here. Number one being maybe the Hogwarts game or potentially Contraband work. But I'm kind of holding out hope that they have something sneaky up their sleeve, whether or not it's a new Systemic Reaction game or maybe continuing the Just Cause series. I'm kind of thinking of maybe jumping onto the Contraband game. It's an interesting game. It's an open world heist game with a co-op focus. So I'm pretty curious about it. I enjoy heist games like Payday and stuff like that, even if I'm not super great at them. We might be checking out Contraband on my channel. Let me know what you think of it down in the comments below if it's a game that's on your radar. If you have no idea what it is and you're maybe curious about it, maybe let me know that too in the comments, because I could probably put together a pretty good video explaining what this game actually is. But outside of that, what do you think is coming out of the Liverpool studio for Avalanche Studios? Do you think it's going to be a Systemic game? Do you think it maybe will be focusing on something new for the Open Worlds division that brought us Hunter Call of the Wild? Or do you think it's more in line with some of these other AAA games that Avalanche is going to be bringing out later on in the next coming years? So, there you go, my dudes. The kind of troubled launch for the Xbox Game Pass and Windows 10 version that has now been solved by the Generation Zero team. The news that we got on updates sadly saying that we will not be seeing the Plunder and Storage expansions within this year, and as well the new Liverpool studio opening for Avalanche Studios, and what potentially could be coming from that. So, if you've got any thoughts and feelings on any of the things we talked about, let me know in the comments down below. You dudes know that I read them all. But for now, thank you very much for watching, stay awesome, and I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, peace.